All right, so good morning and good afternoon. It is your host, Kevin the Navigator. So, on this episode on nautical theory and maritime history and all that stuff, on this episode, we're going to talk about the history of the sailor knot bracelet and where it originated and how did it started and things of that nature, right? So, technically, from what I have been told and what I have researched and what I have asked around, right? So, the sailor knot bracelet, it started like when people during the age of sail, right? During the age of sail, when people got more sophisticated with knot tying, such as the bowline, fisherman's knot, slip knot, fender bender, and the bottle knot, and the lover's knot, and the butterfly knot, and all that stuff, right? So since people got more sophisticated with it, they started to put it on their hands, right? They started to put it on as a bracelet. So some theory has says this, right? There's a theory. Some theory has said that like people wore this, so in case if they forget a line, they can always like pull it out. Some people was carrying something and they put it on as a little temporary jewelry for now, and then in case like they want to like hold a bottle or something like that, they can always pull it out, rope it, and then like tie onto the bottle or things of that nature. Like for example, someone will like do this and then they'll just go like this, go like that, boom, and just go like that as an example. It's not a real knot, but you get the example, right? So you would get the example about that part. So the thing is, we're gonna get into more of the theory of it and how it started. So as we going to tie this thing, this is the origin of the knot bracelet. Now let's go. All right, so basically like the whole history of the sailor knot bracelet is that, like, according to legend, right, not really legend, but according to the story of the origins of it in the recording history, is that the testament of the sailing tradition and knot tying from iconic sailor bracelet has its roots in Mystic, Connecticut, which I'll put in the description below. I'm gonna go to Mystic Seaport, probably like next week or next week after, but sometime before winter, before they close the museum for the season. But anyway, so it started in Mystic, Connecticut in 1939 by Alton Beaudoin. Beaudoin. His last name is French. He began tying knots when he's working as a boatswain's mate, so on cargo ships, because this was like, it goes further back all the way to the age of sail, but recording hobby wise, like recording hobby and leisure time wise, Alton began doing these type of jewelry and bracelets of his work as a boatswain's mate. Now that part being said, he did that, and he did all that. He wore it as like a bracelet or an amulet, you know, with him and his shipmates. That's going from Argentina to New York. Now, but further than that, it dates back all the way to the 1800s. So it dates all the way back. Like I said, it dates all the way back to the age of sail, when many sailors was bored. Because when you're out at sea, you're very bored. Like when you have nothing else to do and you've done your duties, you're very bored. So it gets very boring. So what do? You get creative with the lines. Now that part being said, so now from all types of sailing, right? Professional or leisure wise, when you go into long voyages, the sailor knot bracelet is more like a friendship bracelet. You know how you have a friendship or a promise ring or a premarital or a marriage jewelry that, like, if you're away from your loved ones for a long period of time, you always remind them or give them a reminder that you will always be back. So the thing is, during the old times at sea, sailors made bracelets of rope to their ships to show off their knot making skills. But additional to past times, due to their functionality, a lot of these rope bracelets were used to them to wipe down the brow during physical activity. Like I said in another video before, like just in case if they had a bottle, they had a rag, or they had like an object and they want to just put the line on their wrist temporarily and whip it out and then just use it. So lifting cargo, supplies, and heavy and all that stuff. But these things was, personally for me, like, I wore those bracelets is for good luck and to get me back home, because out at sea is very treacherous and out at sea is very dangerous. It could be the most beautiful thing you've ever seen, but it could be the most disastrous thing you've ever seen in your life. And every sailor can relate to this as well. Then, so most people wear it for many reasons, but the two common reasons is to remind themselves that they're gonna go back home to see their loved one, or to bring good luck, good fortune, and may God watch over them while out at sea, because out at sea is very dangerous, on board and offshore. So, and it's been popularized when many sailors came back. When many sailors came back home, a lot of people noticed that they were wearing these things on their hands, and they're like, "Why are you wearing ropes on your hand?" And we're like, "We're calling lines," and it looks really pretty. You know, it looks decorative. It looks really pretty, and many sailor wives began selling it as well. So these are tales, and not rumors, but they're more likely tales of how the sailor bracelet became a popular staple thing in at fashion at that time. So the thing is this, like, you can get this stuff at many maritime museums, at many maritime colleges. Many people in the Navy and the Marine Corps has this as well. They have lines with jewelry as well. You know, many former veterans wear this as well. A lot of hikers wear this because a lot of hikers came from naval families, naval and merchant mariner families, and they subconsciously wear the lines on their hand for hiking and for like snowboarding or other like strenuous sports. But yeah, this is a brief history of the sailor knots bracelets and how it became popular. But Alton Beaudoin, sorry if I pronounced his last name wrong, he popularized it. But then again, he popularized it, he made it marketable, but there was people before him, there was like sailors way before him around the 1500s that had these things on their line because of physical work, blessings from God, to remind them of their loved ones, because there was no cell phones or there's no emails and no Instagrams at the time, and many various reasons for fashion, to show other shipmates that, like, hey, look at my decorative bracelet, mine looks better than yours. Yeah, what's your knot tying skills? Like, the thing about sailors, what I really notice is that, like, we always find something innovative to do. We always find something innovative to do. Even the most simplest, strenuous thing, we find something to make fun out of it. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, thank you guys for watching, listening. So this is your nautical theory and your maritime history, and I'll see you guys in the next episode.